He's the most popular radio personality in South Florida, but he's been off the air for 6 months. Fear not, though, you Neil Rogers junkies. On December 30th, Neil is going to be back, promising to be as wild and nasty as ever, just like we like him. Tonight, News 4's John Dutzman gives us an exclusive tour of Neil's home and finds out what he's been up to lately.
But this is my bedroom. That was my bar mitzvah picture when I was 13 years old. That's an exclusive for you. Nobody's ever seen that.
Who would know way back then?
Yeah, I look almost like a human being there.
That this sweet Jewish boy would grow up to be...
Sir, blow it out your okay?
One of the most controversial...
Sir, with an IQ like yours, you ought to go far.
...and successful radio personalities in the country.
Gives you screaming diarrhea, by the way, too much OJ.
For 22 years, Neil Rogers has been behind the mic in South Florida. Where's he now? He's been off the air for 6 months, on hiatus as he makes the big switch from WIOD to WQAM, where he'll reportedly make $1 million a year.
Some of these guys think they can take any jackass off the street, put him on the air or her on the air, and sit down and talk for 4 hours. Ain't so easy.
Neil's been taking it easy the last few months. He's been traveling to Amsterdam, Rome, Toronto, and Las Vegas. Says he doesn't miss working at all, but he has missed the opportunity to mouth off on some huge news stories. First, the search for Gianni Versace's murderer, Andrew Cunanan.
Not to mention, of course, the beautiful job that the FBI and the beach police did on letting this guy wander around here right in our midst, not telling anybody, and then trying to cover up. It was pathetic.
And Neil just couldn't believe how big the Princess Di story got. Says he even started reading about the royal family.
In this country, we've always poo-pooed it. We've always made fun of them. And now all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's so glamorous and we have such respect for them. And we see the Queen, you know, bowing her head. The Queen hated Diana like poison, like absolute poison. They hated each other.
But News 4 got her own exclusive royal tour of the Rogers Palace and Plantation. And here you will see, for the first time ever, things Neil talks about on the air. His 2 dogs, Winnie the nice dog and Tiny the evil dog.
You can see how psychotic he is. He's like the 12 Faces of Eve or whatever. He's got 85 different personalities.
Neil says Tiny is psychotic and occasionally violates housebreaking rules.
Usually outside, thank God, but when he's in the wrong mood, when he wants to leave you a message, he'll drop you a bomb inside.
Right on the floor.
Here's Neil's 52-inch TV, one of 2 satellite dishes, and his 2 Corvettes.
I've had vets for 10 years and I love them.
When I'm standing here in your bedroom,
yeah,
I really feel like Barbara Walters, right?
Do you? Well, you're starting to look a little bit like Barbara, too, as a matter of fact.
Thank you very much.
Without the speech defect. And I know that'll never get on the air.
Neil has 2 offices and pictures of his favorite things, hockey, the Panthers, harness racing, and Latin singer Luis Miguel.
You'll see Luis all over the house.
Neil, who's openly gay, routinely talks about his crush on Miguel.
Now, you still got a thing for Luis Miguel, or is it...
Sure. Enrique Iglesias is kind of moving Luis. Luis is getting a little old, but he's great. Great voice.
Soon, Neil's voice will be back. He wants people to know that just because he's switching to an all-sports station, it doesn't mean he's going to be doing sports. In fact, just the opposite.
This isn't a sports town. The one mistake that I've made the last few years is getting too much into talking about sports. Let them do the sports stuff. And I'm going to do other things for the most part. 38 days to go. But for now, it's bye-bye to the psychotic dog, the bar mitzvah picture, Luis Miguel, and...
Bye, Neil.
Good to see you. Don't come back too soon.
John Dutzman, News 4, South Florida.
Bye, Neil. All right, mark it on your calendar. Neil is back December 30th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on 560 WQAM Radio. How do you top that? Let's see if you can.
I can't wait. Jim Berry topped it. Got himself an Emmy tonight. Did you see that?
Oh, of course I saw that.
Sports drinks, colas.